It's about to get dangerous. Welcome to our channel. Today we're strapping ourselves into the roller coaster of American crime statistics and taking a trip to the top 10 most dangerous places in the US. We're talking crime rates that would make your eyebrows jump off your face, population numbers that'll make you wonder where all the police went, and median incomes that would make a banker weep. We'll also be shining a light on the most common crimes plaguing these areas, because knowledge is power, people. So buckle up, Buttercup, because it's about to get real in here. Let's get started. First up on our tour of places you might want to avoid unless you're looking for a starring role in a gritty crime drama. Detroit, Michigan. Ah, Detroit, the Motor City, once a symbol of American industrial might, now a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones. But it also has a crime rate that's higher than a giraffe on stilts. 1,837 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Detroit's most common crimes: robbery, aggravated assault, homicide. So there you have it, folks. Detroit, a city where the crime rate is high and the streets are paved with good intentions and potholes. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading south to the gateway city, St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis has the iconic arch and delicious toasted ravioli, but it also has a crime problem bigger than its famous landmark. 1,917 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Car theft and burglary are local pastimes, and the sound of police sirens is all too common. Stay safe out there, folks. Well, folks, we're moving right along on our tour of America's most crime-ridden cities, and this time we're shaking our tail feathers down to Memphis, Tennessee. Now, I love Memphis. It's got soul, it's got music, it's got barbecue that'll make you want to slap your mama, but please don't actually slap your mama. However, it also has a crime problem that's about as subtle as a gator in a bathtub. We're talking a whopping 2,003 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Aggravated assault is the star of the show here, followed closely by theft and, of course, the good old-fashioned homicide. And don't even think about leaving your car unlocked for a second, because in Memphis, car theft is basically considered a competitive sport. But hey, maybe you're thinking, Avery, you're being a bit harsh. Surely there's a bright side to all this. Well, you'd be right. The food in Memphis is phenomenal. But unfortunately, even a plate of delicious barbecue ribs can't quite mask the bitter aftertaste of a city grappling with such a high crime rate. Next up on our whirlwind tour of America's underbelly, we're heading to a city that needs no introduction when it comes to crime dramas: Baltimore, Maryland. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't Baltimore known for its beautiful harbor, its delicious crab cakes, and its starring role in The Wire? Yes, yes, and yes. But what you might not know is that Baltimore also boasts a crime rate that's higher than a seagull on a caffeine bender. We're talking a staggering 2,027 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Baltimore's no one-trick pony when it comes to crime. They've got a veritable smorgasbord of illegal activities to choose from. Drug-related offenses are, unfortunately, as common as pigeons in the park, and violent crimes, well, let's just say they're more frequent than rush-hour traffic on the Beltway. So there you have it, Baltimore, a city where the crime rate is through the roof, the drug problem is rampant, and the only thing more common than a Ravens fan is the sound of police sirens echoing through the streets. Hold on to your beads, folks, because we're about to get down and dirty in the heart of Jazz and Gumbo, New Orleans, Louisiana. Now, I love New Orleans. It's a city with a pulse, a rhythm, and a history that's as rich as a pot of its famous gumbo. But unfortunately, it's also a city with a crime problem that's about as subtle as a Mardi Gras parade. We're talking a staggering 1,361 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Armed robbery is a popular pastime, and homicide, well, let's just say it's more common than a decent hurricane season. But hey, at least the music's good, right? Well, yes, the music is phenomenal. But unfortunately, even the sounds of jazz legends can't quite drown out the harsh reality of a city grappling with such a high crime rate. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to cross the country to the sunny, yet surprisingly shady city of Oakland, California. Now, Oakland is a city of contrasts. Beautiful redwood forests, a vibrant art scene, and a crime rate that's higher than a tech bro's ego after a successful funding round. We're talking a whopping 1,270 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Oakland's criminal element isn't known for their subtlety. They're equal opportunity offenders, happy to relieve you of your car, your wallet, or your sense of security. Carjacking is practically a competitive sport in this town, and burglary, well, let's just say it's more common than a Tesla in Silicon Valley. But hey, at least the weather's nice, right? Well, yes, the weather is lovely. But unfortunately, even the California sunshine can't quite erase the shadow cast by Oakland's persistent crime problem. Buckle up, folks, because we're heading back to the Midwest, to the shores of Lake Erie and the gritty city of Cleveland, Ohio. Now, Cleveland has a lot going for it. A rockin' music scene, delicious pierogies, and a certain underdog charm. But unfortunately, it also has a crime rate that's about as charming as a rabid raccoon. We're talking a staggering 1,410 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Assault is practically a contact sport in this town, and theft, well, let's just say it's more common than a Browns fan wearing a paper bag over their head, although to be fair, who can blame them? But hey, at least the housing market is affordable, right? Well, not really. While the median household income is a less than impressive $32,051, the cost of living in Cleveland is surprisingly high. So there you have it, Cleveland, a city where the crime rate is through the roof, the Browns are perpetually disappointing, and the only thing colder than the winters is the harsh reality of its crime problem. Hold on to your wallets, folks, because we're heading back to the Golden State, to a city that's known more for its crime rate than its golden sunsets, Stockton, California. Now, Stockton is a city with a rich agricultural history, a diverse population, and a crime rate that's higher than the San Andreas Fault. We're talking a staggering 628 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Stockton's criminal element isn't known for their subtlety. They're equal opportunity offenders happy to relieve you of your car, your wallet, or your sense of security. Robbery is practically a way of life in this town, and violent crime, well, let's just say it's more common than a traffic jam on the 5 freeway. And don't even get me started on the gang activity. It's enough to make you want to invest in a suit of armor, a panic room, and maybe a personal relationship with the local police chief. But hey, at least the produce is fresh, right? Well, yes, the fruits and vegetables are delicious. But unfortunately, even the sweetness of a perfectly ripe peach can't quite mask the bitter aftertaste of a city grappling with such a high crime rate. Saddle up, partners, because we're moseying on down to the land of enchantment, to a city that's known as much for its stunning desert landscapes as it is for its crime rate, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now, Albuquerque is a city with a rich history, a vibrant arts scene, and a crime rate that's hotter than a jalapeno eating contest. We're talking a scorching 1,125 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Albuquerque's criminal element isn't known for their subtlety. They're equal opportunity offenders, happy to relieve you of your car, your wallet, or your collection of vintage Route 66 memorabilia. Property crime is practically a hobby in this town, and violent crime, well, let's just say it's more common than a tumbleweed blowing down Central Avenue. But hey, at least the sunsets are beautiful, right? Well, yes, the sunsets are breathtaking. But unfortunately, even the vibrant hues of a New Mexican sunset can't quite erase the shadow cast by Albuquerque's persistent crime problem. Last but not least, we're wrapping up our whirlwind tour of America's most crime-ridden cities in a place known for its beer, its cheese, and unfortunately, its crime rate, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, Milwaukee is a city with a rich brewing history, a vibrant arts scene, and a crime rate that's higher than the foam on a freshly poured beer. We're talking a staggering 1,036 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Milwaukee's criminal element isn't known for their subtlety. They're equal opportunity offenders happy to relieve you of your car, your wallet, or your stash of cheese curds. Aggravated assault is practically a competitive sport in this town, and burglary, well, let's just say it's more common than a Packers fan wearing a cheesehead hat. Although, to be fair, who doesn't love a good cheesehead? But hey, at least the beer's good, right? Well, yes, the beer is fantastic. But unfortunately, even the hoppiest IPA can't quite erase the bitter aftertaste of a city grappling with such a high crime rate. Well, folks, there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the top 10 most dangerous cities in the US. I know, it's enough to make you want to invest in a bunker, a lifetime supply of canned goods, and a team of highly trained attack squirrels. But before you descend into a spiral of despair and paranoia, remember that knowledge is power. By being aware of the challenges these cities face, we can work towards creating safer communities for everyone. So the next time you're planning a trip to any of these cities, remember to stay vigilant, be aware of your surroundings, and maybe pack a few extra cans of mace, just in case. Stay safe out there, America. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you in the next video.